My party, party for the people, party for the nation, good for education. They have done a lot to help us in this community. I have always been a PNP, will always be a PNP. My party, step up is good.
In the high-stakes world of Jamaican politics, every leader is expected to command a presence, a voice, and a charisma that can sway the people. But what if the next great leader of Jamaica wasn't the loudest voice in the room? What if he was instead the underdog? In a time when the PNP is at a crossroads, torn between the struggles of its past and the hope for a comeback, one man stands ready to answer the call: Mark Golding.
Comrades, help me welcome your future Prime Minister. Help me welcome your leader, Mark Jefferson Golding.
Mark Golding again.
This is the story of the rise of an unlikely leader and his quiet revolution to reshape the future of Jamaica. Before we dive deeper into this story, welcome to the channel. Here, I'm uncovering Jamaica one video at a time, bringing you the untold stories, history, and people shaping our nation. If you're passionate about exploring Jamaica's past, present, and future, hit that subscribe button to join us on this journey of discovery. To understand Mark Golding's story, we have to go back to his roots.
Yes, I'm a born Jamaican. I was born at University Hospital, 1965. I grew up in Jamaica. I went to school here, Mona Prep, Campion College. I studied abroad, and I came back right after, went to Norman Manley Law School, did 2 years there, got a Commonwealth Scholarship, did a master's degree in law in the UK, came back right after, and I've never worked anywhere other than Jamaica. So my entire working life and my childhood were here.
Born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica, Golding grew up in a family that valued education, hard work, and a sense of duty to one's country. From an early age, he was drawn to understanding the complexities of Jamaican society, not just the culture, but the systems and challenges that shape everyday life. He wasn't the child who dreamed of political fame. Instead, he was driven by curiosity, a sense of justice, and an instinct to protect those who couldn't protect themselves. This passion for justice led Golding to pursue a career in law. After completing his studies locally, he continued his education abroad, gaining a deep understanding of both the law and finance. Armed with knowledge and a commitment to fairness, he returned to Jamaica with a vision: to create a more just society where the legal and financial systems could work for everyone, not just the privileged few. Golding spent years building his reputation as a principled lawyer and financial expert. His work wasn't glamorous or high profile, but it was effective. He focused on modernizing Jamaica's financial regulations, pushing for laws that would make it easier for small businesses to succeed and for ordinary Jamaicans to secure their futures. Behind the scenes, Golding became known as a quiet force, a man who was more interested in real change than in seeking attention. One of Golding's most notable contributions to Jamaica's legal landscape was his work on financial reform. He was a key figure in crafting policies aimed at reducing poverty by supporting local businesses, creating opportunities for employment, and giving ordinary Jamaicans a chance to rise economically. But he didn't stop there. Golding also advocated for social issues that directly affected Jamaica's most vulnerable populations, such as the decriminalization of marijuana. His support for this policy wasn't just about economic opportunity, it was a matter of justice. Golding believed that Jamaica's marijuana laws unfairly targeted poorer Jamaicans, particularly young men from underprivileged backgrounds who faced harsh penalties for minor offenses. His work in advocating for the decriminalization of marijuana showed a deep understanding of how the justice system can sometimes work against the very people it's meant to protect. For Golding, this was more than just policy. It was a matter of principle, a way to level the playing field and give everyone an equal chance. In every aspect of his career, Golding has stood up for the Jamaican people, quietly building a foundation of trust and respect.
I do not support corruption. Corruption takes money away from children's education. It deprives hospitals of basic necessities. It means that roads are not fixed. Corruption deepens inequality. It siphons off taxpayers' money to make a few cronies richer with the political connections instead of benefiting the people.
Though he worked in the shadows, his contributions didn't go unnoticed. His efforts earned him the admiration of those who saw him as a principled, steadfast advocate for change. And though he never sought the spotlight, fate seemed to be pushing him toward it. Amidst the challenges facing the PNP, Mark Golding's steady rise comes at a time when the party desperately needs a leader who can restore its integrity and vision. The People's National Party was once a driving force in Jamaican politics, a movement that championed progressive ideals, uplifted the poor, and served as a beacon of hope. But in recent years, that flame has dimmed. The PNP faces a crisis of identity, weakened by leadership struggles and scandals that have eroded its base. As younger Jamaicans question whether the party can meet their needs, the once mighty PNP stands at a crossroads. Will it rise again or fade into political memory? In this time of uncertainty, Mark Golding emerged. For some, his selection seemed unorthodox. Golding didn't fit the typical image of a political firebrand. He wasn't the outspoken orator of past PNP leaders, but he bore a quiet, resolute strength, a quality reminiscent of the party's iconic founder, Norman Manley. Like Manley, Golding values integrity over spectacle and principle over popularity. He brings a measured and thoughtful approach to leadership, seeking to restore the PNP's roots of service, unity, and justice. Yet Golding's journey is his own. In a party known for charismatic figures, he offers a refreshing steadiness, a commitment to bridging divides rather than deepening them. Unlike some leaders before him who focused on sweeping promises, Golding's vision is simple yet profound: to rebuild trust, starting within the PNP itself, and to reconnect with a Jamaica that feels increasingly disillusioned. As he steps into the role, Jamaicans can't help but wonder if Golding's quiet but determined leadership can rekindle the PNP's spirit in a way that resonates with both longtime supporters and a new generation.
We want this constituency of South East St. Mary back in the palm of the People's National Party.
With echoes of past greats and a style all his own, Mark Golding stands poised to lead not just a party, but a movement towards a Jamaica rooted in unity and progress. Mark Golding's rise has not been without its share of obstacles. As the underdog, he's faced resistance at nearly every turn. On the national stage, he goes head-to-head with the formidable Jamaica Labour Party, led by Andrew Holness. The JLP has a tight grip on power, with extensive resources, a far-reaching media presence, and a loyal following. Its string of victories in recent elections has solidified its dominance, and Golding's task of turning the tide in favor of the PNP seems Herculean at best. But perhaps the most difficult opposition Golding faces is within his own party. Some PNP members, used to the fiery, charismatic leaders of the past, have questioned whether his methodical, calm approach is what the party truly needs. In a time of crisis where the PNP's relevance is under fire, Golding's style seems almost out of step with the political climate. He is not the boisterous figure many expected. For some, this means he lacks the energy and force required to mobilize the masses. For others, it is a refreshing break from the status quo. Golding has often been criticized for his preference for long-term solutions rather than quick political wins, solutions that require patience, strategic thinking, and careful groundwork. This approach has earned him both loyal followers and vocal critics. His supporters praise him for his focus on sustainable change, while others question if his reserved demeanor can ignite the kind of passion needed to reinvigorate the PNP. But despite the doubts, despite the internal and external criticisms, Golding persists. He understands that leadership is not about avoiding conflict, but embracing the challenges head-on. For him, each hurdle, each critique is part of a greater mission. He knows that, for the PNP to rise again, it needs more than just a change of leadership. It needs a fundamental transformation. And Golding, with his calm resolve and unwavering commitment, is determined to lead it through the storm. What truly sets Mark Golding apart isn't just his loyalty to the PNP, it's his clear and unwavering vision for Jamaica. In a political world where many focus on the immediate goals of party success, Golding's sights are set much higher. His mission goes beyond just winning elections. It's about rebuilding the country for the long haul, focusing on the real needs of the Jamaican people, especially those who've been left behind by the system.
This parish is, of course, the breadbasket of the country, has a strong tradition in agriculture, but they have major infrastructure challenges. Water is a big issue here. Roads are also an issue, and the young people want opportunities so they can make money.
Economic reform, accessible education, and social justice. These are the cornerstones of his vision. Golding's approach to economic empowerment is all about creating opportunities for the everyday Jamaican. He wants to put the power back in the hands of the people, especially small business owners and entrepreneurs. His goal is to make it easier for hardworking Jamaicans to succeed, to give them access to the resources they need to thrive. And when it comes to Jamaica's youth, he sees education as the key to unlocking the nation's full potential. With targeted reforms, he envisions a Jamaica where every young person has the tools to not just survive, but to succeed and contribute to society in a meaningful way. Social equity is at the heart of Golding's political agenda. He's made it clear that he believes in a justice system that serves everyone, not just the wealthy and powerful. For him, true progress is measured by how well the most vulnerable are treated. Golding understands that a nation is only as strong as its weakest link. His policies may not always make the front page, but they are built for the long term. Real, tangible change that resonates with those who need it most. For Golding, building a stronger Jamaica means giving every citizen the chance to live with dignity and respect. In a country where political leadership is often shaped by bold personalities and headline-grabbing debates, Mark Golding stands out as an unlikely figure. He doesn't crave the spotlight. He seeks to listen, understand, and act. For some, this makes him the leader Jamaica truly needs. For others, his quiet, steady approach raises doubts. But in the eyes of many Jamaicans, Mark Golding represents something different. A leader who prioritizes substance over style, unity over division, and action over empty promises. The question remains, can this PNP underdog, Mark Golding, inspire a movement strong enough to lead his party and his country into a new era? Or will his vision be drowned out by the louder voices around him? As the PNP stands at a crossroads, the nation watches closely. The future of the party, and perhaps the future of Jamaica itself, may very well depend on whether Golding's quiet revolution can rise above the noise. This is the rise of the PNP's underdog. This is the story of Mark Golding, a man with a mission, and perhaps the leader Jamaica has been waiting for.
We understand what it will take to achieve higher levels of inclusive and sustainable economic growth to drive national development. It must be built on principles of integrity, inclusion, equity, and justice. We believe that the Jamaican people have the power to make this happen, and it requires the leadership of the People's National Party to take Jamaica forward on this great mission of hope for our people. Time come now.
Thanks for joining me on this journey through Mark Golding's rise and the future of the People's National Party. Is he truly the last hope for the PNP? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, his story is far from over. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into Jamaica's political landscape. Don't forget to comment below with your thoughts. Do you believe Golding can lead the PNP back to prominence? I'm eager to hear your opinions. And as always, stay tuned for more stories as we uncover Jamaica one video at a time.